Okay, y'all know what? I ain't doing it that way. I'm going to gather it, and we're just going to have to do be very careful adding the band to the gathered piece. This will drive me fucking batshit, and I can't handle that today. So I'm going to gather this, and I've got it on 5.0 stitch length because, like I said, I don't want a real tight gather. I want it to gather, but I don't want it to be a little scrunched up piece when I'm done. You know what? Let's put that walking foot on here because I just think it will work out better. Alright, so we're going to do this with the walking foot just because, hey, I'm feeling frisky today. I'm set my machine back to 6 on the tension, 3 on the stitch length, about 4 on the pressure of the presser foot. That is really hard to say. This is the tricky part where you have to be really careful because these gathers can get caught up in there and make an ugly mess. So I'm trying to go a little bit over the edge of this fabric so that this stitch line doesn't show. If it does happen to end up showing, I will just cut it out with a seam ripper once I'm done. I'm going to put my needle down in there so it's stable. I'm telling you, this is the part where if you do it this way, if you know how to work that gathering foot better than I do, oh my God, more power to you. That thing had me cussing so much. Okay, so I'm just going to slowly go, and as I go, I'm making sure I've got this skirt pulled down so that these gathers don't bunch up and make a mess. So here we go. And you see I'm coming to the end of it, and I have a whole lot of this band left, but that I said at the beginning I just added extra because I didn't know how much I would need. Now hopefully this did not make a huge mess, because if it did, I will cry. It came together nice. I'm gonna have to pick out the oh, I'm sorry, you can't see me, dumbass. Me, not you. Yeah, I'll just pick these out with the seam ripper because they won't make a difference since it's already secured to the band now. So, yeah, it looks good. Nothing bunched up. That did just a little bit, it looks like. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I told you I'm having a really bad day. Here we go. See? And I don't close this skirt just because of the way I make it. It's easier for me to do it this way. Okay, so now we need to attach this to the onesie. And I'm going to go ahead and clip this extra from the band. Now we have our little onesie piece, and we have our skirt piece that we've already sewed the band to. What we need to do is evenly fold the onesie over in half, and I fold it with the back outside so I can see this better. And then take and just mark, actually I'm going to use a piece of chalk because that's not wanting to mark on this fabric. Mark the middle. So you can see that I've just took that chalk and marked in the middle of the back of the onesie. Now what I want to do, I'm going to overlap this little mark just a little bit, and I'm only going to start sewing from the mark, because what I want to do is once I've got it sewn all the way around, I'm going to close up the back seam on the skirt part. So I'm going to pin this all the way around, and I probably will have some excess, which is fine. And what I found with the first ones that I made was that onesie stretched a little bit, so you don't want to cut this until you're done, because it may stretch out, and then if you cut it thinking you've got it just perfect, you're going to get a little bit of stretch, and then you're not going to have enough of the skirt. So you know what I'm saying. Basically, just don't cut anything until you've sewn everything. So I'm going to pin this, and then I will come back and show you how to sew it onto the onesie. Okay, so you can see I've got that pinned, and it's the top of the onesie is kind of upside down in there. And you see I just have enough to finish this off. So I don't want to do a whole lot of pulling and stretching this out, or else the skirt's going to wind up too small for the onesie. We're sewing in the round, so we're going to remove the free arm from the sewing machine. And I'm going to start here, and of course I put the pins in, I don't know what you call that, parallel or whatever. So I need to remove pins as I go along and not sew over them. And I'm going to start just over this edge. I'm not going to start all the way to the edge, because I need to gather that, I need to sew that back seam closed. Okay, so that's what I have. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to put this back seam together, and I want to start at the top. It's just the best place to start, I guess. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not really pinching a lot of that onesie in there, because I don't want a bunched up back. Y'all probably can't understand half my lingo. If there's a little hole here, it's not going to matter, because we're going to put a bow over the top of that, and you'll actually hand sew that closed. So just line all of this up, and I like to start from the top of the skirt piece. Go a little wider so you guys can see, so I don't have to keep moving this camera around. Alright, you see that cute little dress that we already have forming here. Now the next thing I want to do is from the outside, I want to fold over this inside seam. I want to fold it facing down and sew all the way around that on the band piece, just to make it look a little neater and to keep everything in place right. So I'm going to feed my onesie through here. This is kind of tricky. And I'm going to fold that down. Yeah, really tricky. And I want to use a wider stitch length, because this is just for decoration, so I'm using a 4. And what I'm doing is, I know you can't see it, but I'm taking my hand in here and pushing that seam down, and taking this hand and flattening it out. Now I'm going to go right along the edge of this, being very careful to stay neat. Oh, there's our adorable little onesie dress. It's really easy once you get used to it. It's a little frustrating trying to figure out that gathering foot. The next thing I need to do is create my cute little bow to go on the back. But if you already have your own bow idea, go with it. You could even maybe make a tiny little bow to go up here that you could sew on. I wouldn't recommend doing any pinning or pin backs, because the baby's going to be wearing this. So